Okay, hi everyone. Very good morning to everyone. Thank you for attending the 10th MSC, the final MSC for all the MUSA members of 2018. It will be a final MSC. Be happy. For those who are here in 2019, good luck with all the 10. First, I'll pass the floor to Natasha to explain all the policy letter and proxy letters.
Charlie is unable to attend today's meeting as she is currently back at her home country for internship. She has submitted her project letter on 12th of November. Ethan is unable to attend today's meeting as he has started on his internship. He grants his voting right to Yo Yingshan from School of Science. He has submitted his project proxy letters on 13th of November. Leanne is unable to attend today's meeting as she has started on her internship. She grants her voting right to Elizabeth from School of Arts and Social Science. She has submitted her project proxy letters on 13th of November. Minnie is unable to attend today's meeting as she will be going for the SOB's Penang trip. She grants her voting right to Len Si-moon from School of Pharmacy. She has submitted her project proxy letters on 12th of November. Raymond is unable to attend today's meeting as he will be going for SOB's Penang trip. He grants his voting right to Poon Weng-hung from School of Pharmacy. He has submitted his project proxy letters on 12th of November. Tasvir is unable to attend today's meeting as he is currently back at his home country for his internship. He has submitted his apology letter on 14th of November. Motion 1, acceptance of apology and proxy letters, accepted by Elizabeth, seconded by Desmond. Thank you. Vera. Motion 2, acceptance of 9th MSC meeting minutes, accepted by Hassan, seconded by Jay. Next will be President's report.
No, okay, for my report, I'll just start with, I just have a few things that I want to mention. First is the matters regarding the study spaces. So as you all know that students were voicing out their opinion that there was not enough study spaces during SWOT work and for finals. So in that regard, I had a meeting with Selvin and Maggie to discuss this matter. So if you guys have seen the data that Newton posted on Facebook page, you already know that there's more study spaces this year compared to last year, right? So due to that, we actually asked FMD to open up more tutorial rooms 24 hours. But you see, the thing is, when they open up tutorial rooms, when the tutorial rooms are not taken care by the students and the FMD and security guard has to take care of them, that's where things go wrong. Maggie was telling me there was once, when they opened up the tutorial room for 24 hours, that students even brought their own fridge, you know, they brought blanket, they just made the place like their home, right? And it was dirty. They were not, I mean, if you guys have seen the tutorial room beside the library, what's the tutorial number? I have no idea what's the tutorial number, but the tutorial room right beside the library, which is near the main ITS office. If you have seen the tutorial room last year, then you will understand what's the condition of tutorial rooms during SWOT work.
1905, right?
Yeah, I think so, if I'm not wrong. So that's why they didn't want to open extra tutorial rooms, because there was already building 4 level 4, building 7. Yeah, building 7 level 4, which is now called the Hive, if you guys don't know. And there was already the bridge. There were a few other places that were already opened up to, they were already sufficient for students to sit and study. So yet we still get complaints from students saying there were not enough spaces. So that's why I asked Terrence's help. With Monga, we carried the survey. We carried out the survey, 2 surveys. First survey was to ask, First survey was to ask students prefer to study in morning or afternoon. And second was to ask their feedback on whether they believe seat hogging was the main reason of, main reason why there's insufficient seating, or was it just because there was insufficient seating by itself. So this was the voting result that we got. And with this, I gave this the result of the survey to the admins, and then they agreed to open up these classrooms from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for the whole finals period. Whether it was used or not, I was not too sure because I didn't go around and check. But hopefully this was sufficient enough for students to use because whoever was complaining there was not enough space. Hopefully these tutorial rooms provided space for them to study. Any questions on the study spaces? None at all? Good, nice. I like this. Okay, next is a possible collab with Graduan. Recently I received an email from Graduan. If you guys don't know what Graduan is, it's one of the leading career resource for Malaysian students studying locally and abroad. So they have a lot of events and activities planned for the coming year. So I will probably have a meeting with them to discuss all the things that we can do and most probably pass it on to MUSA 2019 to take over and to, because with Graduan, for students who are having difficulty to find resources for their careers and all, with the help of Graduan they can actually benefit a lot. So I hopefully things go right and MUSA 2019 can help out the students with Graduan. Next will be the presidential trip. Dates today have been finalized and I'll be flying off with the, 2019, my bad. The President-elect Kajendra from the second. Okay. So we'll be representing MUSA in the Vice Chancellor Student President Advisory Forum. This platform allows the presidents of each Monash campuses to exchange ideas, and this will benefit the Malaysian campus a lot. We'll be sharing our experience with all the different campuses, and hopefully it will be beneficial for MUSA 2019, who can bring these experiences back to MUSA 2019 and help out with the students. Next is the sheltered walkway and resurfacing road of Eastern Car Park. So, matters in regards to the sheltered walkway, I've already proposed to this actually at the start of the semester. Main reason why I didn't write anything about it because there was nothing I could write about it. I have already talked to Selvin multiple times, I've asked updates multiple times. I've even sent the email directly to PVC, but the email I got back was from Selvin. I sent an email to PVC, but I got back an email from Selvin. So they said the matter will be taken into consideration. So hopefully something will be done because if I'm not wrong, at this end of the semester they're doing a lot of renovation here and there. So hopefully they'll actually pay attention that students, during rainy days especially, students don't have a proper way to enter and exit campus. So hopefully they'll do something about it. And for resurfacing the road of Eastern Car Park, Eastern Car Park is basically the free parking. And if you guys know, the road there is just horrible, right? You actually can, your car, if I'm not wrong, my girlfriend's car's alignment is really off because driving back in and out of that place multiple times. So I've already told them why not we resurface the road and add parking lines, because sometimes students, they don't know the parking line, so the space is wasted, right? So I requested why not add parking lines, and I would say, because since that forking out money from the islands is such a big problem, why not we just fork out money from MUSA instead? But still, we can't do anything about it because the landowner, which is not Monash, has earmarked the land for further development. So we cannot do anything to that, and unfortunately it will be as it is until the landowner wants to do anything about it. Next is lunchbox. So I received a few complaints from students via the MUSA President-elect Kajendra. The two issues were price of food in lunchbox was still too expensive. For example, a simple fried rice is 6 ringgit, and Indomie, which you buy your packet, is probably 3 ringgit, and do it yourself, you add labor cost is 4 ringgit. That in lunchbox is 6 ringgit. So the price is a bit too high. Of course, lunchbox is not in Monash, but still a lot of Monashians eat in lunchbox. A lot of students eat in lunchbox. So I've already talked to the representative in lunchbox, and he has really given me the list of the menu of lunchbox, and he usually told me to have a discussion with a group of people so that we can see what is the reasonable price to be held as the menu in the lunchbox. That will be done soon. And then another problem was that cashiers in lunchbox was not returning change of 5 cents back to students. Has anyone faced this problem? Right? Okay, yeah. Because this is actually a big problem, because the fact that they are already charging food for so much and taking 5 cents from students is not small money. 5 cents is a lot. 5 cents for one student, another student getting 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, and then they still will make profit. So this is something really reported to lunchbox, and they really make sure that things be placed to make sure it does not happen again. And can I just ask everyone, in terms of lunchbox, what do you guys think about the pricing? I don't know what's.
So we have one type of chicken. It's fried chicken, 4 types of sauces, and they just like mix and match that shit. Yeah, just one form of chicken.
No, but I'm asking price. Like, do you guys think it's reasonable? I mean, certain items maybe.
Yeah, for the quantity they give, it's really expensive.
And for the ingredients and the materials they use, it's bad. The chicken rice was just a patty, right? It wasn't grilled chicken, and it had like, I think like what flavors.
Okay, this is why I'm doing our opinions. I mean, of course, we all know that lunchbox food is shit, but we'll try to do something to reduce the price. But then there's no guarantee that the price will reduce, because currently they have a what do you call this outlet in Sunway or so, and they said the Sunway students are not complaining and all, lunchbox people. We'll try to do something about it, but there's no guarantee that something will, the price will reduce. Next, just a summary of 2018 for me. If you want, you guys can read through it. If you guys don't want to, don't. It's just a few things that I feel like. I'm not saying I accomplished this by myself. I'm saying a lot of these things I got help from a lot of the other departments and things done together. So these are a few things that I think that was accomplished in 2018, which was the food trucks. I provided a lot of opportunity for student entrepreneurs to expand their portfolios. Like, for example, I can give you, there was a food student entrepreneur that opened up what is it called? It was a company called MSC. They opened up a booth in campus to expand their business. Then there was Dime Capsule, if you all know about it. So all these different platforms for student entrepreneurs. Then collaborated with other universities, where if you see a lot of universities came to Monash, different universities came to and opened up their booth and promoted their events on campus. There was an increased number of bazaars on campus, because at the start of the year, Selwyn actually wanted more bazaars, so there was more bazaars. We actually gained the rights of MUSA website domain. There's an increase in cleaning of toilets. I'm not going to say there's an increase in cleanliness of toilet, because that is very subjective, because even if there's an increase of cleaning, if students don't take care of it, it's not going to be clean, right? So there's increase of cleaning in toilets, and then there's implementation of the QR code, better Wi-Fi connectivity, addition of more water dispensers around the campus, booking system of rooms in library to reduce hogging. Unfortunately, it didn't really reduce the hogging that much. So this hogging issue is something that MUSA 2019 should look into, try to do something about it. The umbrella rental system is, Sean's not here. Okay. Due to a certain someone, it's still not implemented yet, but it will be in by the end of the year. Then refurbishment of the sports facilities, it will be done at the end of the year. I've already gotten, Maggie guaranteed that it will be done, so I'm taking her word for it. And then finally, the renovation of the cafeteria and bringing in new tenants. It's not final. There will definitely be renovation of the cafeteria. Bringing in of the new tenant is not final. That's who we're bringing in. Unfortunately, I can't reveal too many information about it, because it's still in the committee, and unless the decision has been made, then I can reveal information. So that one, in regards to the new tenants, more information will come to you guys soon. So the challenges faced a lot was, definitely first thing is establishing alliance, because I think it made sense that instead of solving the problems on campus, was creating alliance would just be another problem. So I just ditched alliance and to just make sure to focus on the campus instead. Implementation at MUSA was this couldn't happen because there was just a lot of other clubs who had their own cards, and then we wanted to use the student ID to be used as the cards to reward, but there was also a problem with that. Then there was another feedback form was not really edited by students, unfortunately. And then we wanted you guys remember when there was a period where you couldn't find parking at all in Sunway. So we wanted to collaborate with Grab, but unfortunately whenever Grab distributes their allocations and funds at the start of the year, it's very hard to get them to collaborate with us and to give new stuff. But thankfully the MSC, now they're working with Grab to get paid with Grab on campus. So hopefully there will be something for next year. And then finally, definitely is RBS. Unfortunately, until now, there's nothing you can do about it. Hopefully, at the end of the year, ITS will do something about it. And because I'll be meeting with ITS to talk about the RBS and also about the computers in library. Because you guys know where a lot of the computers where you use for printing, they take more than 2 minutes to start. So I'll probably create a small X-ray task force to go around the library to check on which computers are effective and takes more than 2 minutes to start. And those computers, we'll take a picture of it and we'll send it to ITS, because ITS has already said that computers will take maximum only 2 minutes. So for those computers, we'll make sure we'll report them to ITS and ITS will do something about it. And that's about it. Okay, I think no questions. Not just my beef. Okay. Yes.
Where's the umbrellas for
Whenever Sean brings it in. When Sean brings it in. So trust me, you have no idea how pissed I was at Sean during the finals, and I didn't want to see his face. But
if I'm not mistaken, it's proposed at the start of the semester or something like that.
It was proposed at the start of the year.
no,
Well,
start of the year.
It's taken at least a semester, I know.
It's not taken a semester. We have proposed it at, if I'm not wrong, the 8th MSC.
I think it was proposed at the beginning of the semester.
I think, okay, guys, if you want proof, you can go read the meeting minutes. I've never said anything about umbrellas until the 8th MSC.
It's fine, it's fine.
Yeah.
So is it coming in by the end of December or is it next year?
We'll make sure it comes in by end of November. And hopefully the October students can use it. I know there's delay, I apologize on that, and Sean's not here. But we'll try to do something about it. This guy.
Motion 3, acceptance of President's report, accepted by,
Hassan.
seconded by.
Question or you want to just investment?
Okay, next will be Vice President's report.
Okay, so do you want me to go line by line or it's self-explanatory? Okay, so let's have a review and summation. So basically the total subsidy given was around 36K. There's more 1 or 2K. There's 2 more cases to be finalized. If you need a detailed report, it will be published in the financial report. We'll give like a whole table of it. Okay, and then so student initiative, we total have 7. Yeah, TEDx Carnival Let Loose, Mobile Workshop, Momunique. Momunique is like an MUN conference and everyone is from Leo Club, yeah. And Welcome Back Party is from Cinematic. Okay, and merchandise was sold several sales throughout the year. The extra will be given soon to committees, but yeah, not all, okay? And then a total of 22Ks were funded to EAC. Basically, EAC is everyone in the school reps considering, and then all the events together. The details will be breakdown in the tables as well. Okay, so the lessons from our journey is that the communication in MUSA can be much better, and yeah, it's just that sometimes people can be hard to deal with, or any more understanding can be given or whatsoever. Okay, and then advices or suggestions to our successors is that, are they here? Just wondering, no, okay. But yeah, Kajan, you can pass it down. Okay, so yeah, for merchandise, it's not, because this year we did try to pre-order, we make it a pre-order basis instead, but then it's not advisable because, yeah. Okay, okay, and next one. Go on with it. I'm going to the next page.
So that's it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So, and then the TEDx, basically it will take out a lot of time because there's considered of creator and then also logistic team. Just start as soon as possible and then recruit as soon as possible. If you want, you can recruit the MUSA committee or student committee. This year we recruited student committee, and last year they recruited MUSA committee. So there's a pros and cons. You can ask for the teachers later on. Okay, and then just be innovative on ideas because that's all about innovative ideas and this and that. So the brainstorming will most likely take most of the time. Okay, and then yeah, for student initiative wise, you don't have to really stick to tradition. Like this year we did not really do whatever they do last year. And then the carnival or even like yeah, let loose and chill. Besides the one combat party, basically the others two are just a fresh kind of party. Okay? And yeah, CEC basically consists of the PVC and also all the school of heads and also library heads or FMD. So it's very efficient. So the vice president actually have quite a big say, MUPA and MUSA, both. So whatever issues that you can actually bring it up, surely you can go through your vice presidents to actually bring it up. Because they are very okay. Yeah. Any questions?
Motion for acceptance of Vice President's report accepted by.
Okay.
Seconded by.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next will be my report. Summary, MSC meetings, total of 10 MSC meetings were held. 5 MSC per SEM, shortest one was 8 MSC, lasted for 21 minutes. Low participation from the general student population. And then MUSA by-election took place in SEM 1, 26th of February till 9th of March. So the positions contested were all this, and these were the results. And then MUSA annual election began on 1st of August and ended on 7th of September. Results were announced on 7th of September as well. Name list was published. All positions were elected except for School of IT representatives position. So the incoming Chancellor will need to do a by-election next year. 66 candidates contested, which is more than last year. Total votes was 2099 votes, which is 32% of the total student population, increased by 4% compared to last year. Warning letters, 2 warning letters were issued throughout the year to Editor Terence and Head of CNS Ashley. And email motion, 1 email motion to date, and that was raised on 13th of February. With regards to the appointment of the GenSec subcommittee members as the election commission members for by-election due to less application from the students, it was passed. Resignations, a total of 2 resignations took place throughout this year. So 1 resignation took place in SEM 1 by the MUIS ISO Publicity. He was elected in the by-election and he resigned on 30th of March. Another resignation is Publicity Officer Trisha on 18th of July. Okay, this is very important. Key audit. Mr. Lawrence from FMD has requested an audit of the number of keys which are held by MUSA members. It will be done by me from 29 to 31st of December. So please, please, please pass your keys to me by 28th of December latest. Do whatever you want till then, but 28th of December, please give it to me. I'll come to office just for that and pass it to me, and I will give you the handover forms. Read it, sign it, and you're officially done. Okay? And after the audit, the keys will be passed to the president. Handover of keys are to take place between the current and incoming president. And please do not pass it to your successors. Please only pass it to me. It is the responsibility of the 2019 MUSA president to distribute the keys to the 2019 office bearers accordingly. Please remember, guys, 20th of December. Let me highlight it. Okay. Message from my successor, she's here. Do not repeat my mistakes. Whatever mistakes that I did, or explicitly or whatever, intentionally or whatever, please do not repeat it. Lead and operate at their own capacity. It is your department, hence do not let others to tell you on how to run a department. Ask when in doubt and never assume. Trust your instinct. Remember this, that money and positions do change people sometimes. And study hard, because MUSA is not going to help you in the future, studies will help you in the future. And yes, good luck to MUSA 2019, strive to be better than MUSA 2018. Questions? Okay, motion 5, acceptance of General Secretary's report, accepted by Jay, seconded by Ashley. Next is Treasurer's report.
Okay, I assume all of us want to not drag this on for too long and you don't want to make this go smooth. So I'm going to explain this first part very carefully. So please listen up. The amounts that I posted over here were the expenditures, the total expenditures for all departments up to the month of November, meaning it's like up to the 31st of December. It doesn't include anything after the exams because I haven't processed those forms yet. And it doesn't, and these amounts that I've listed over here is all gross expenses, as in it doesn't take into account revenue generated by any of your departments. I have not accounted for all of that yet. That will be in the final report at the end of the year, and that will be presented in the next EGM by the future treasurers. I think they're not here. Okay, so very important. Okay, first of all, very important, the deadline of submissions for all of your forms. I've sent a message on the MUSA group. I think most of y'all would have read it already. Hopefully all of you all read it and took notice. 22nd of November is the date that I'm setting for the last submission of all the forms. This is obviously there's certain exceptions. Exceptions being any departments who have events after this particular date may submit their forms and all after the 22nd of November. And I don't think I included it over here. I'm extending the deadline for subcom dinners, like your receipts and all. You can submit it to me by, did I say 3rd of December? Yeah, by the 3rd of December, please take your subcoms, do whatever you want, and then submit the receipts to me by the 3rd of December, because I need to start closing the accounts. Okay, now that that's been said, just take a look lah. Touch over a bit. So President, Vice President, generally speaking, I think from what I've seen from my records, and my records are pretty okay lah. None of y'all have gone above your budget. This is okay. The amount on the right hand side, proposed expenses, was the amount that y'all initially proposed at the beginning of the year. These are not net expense values. These are just this is just your gross profit, not including the revenue you would have taken into account. Like for example, activities. It's 350, but they planned for a revenue of 100,000. That has not been included because I have not accounted for that yet. So you guys can take a look. Overall, okay, we have not gone above our budget. So congrats, you all didn't blow the budget. Okay. Okay. I think honestly that's about it for my report. The key part that I wanted to emphasize over here is just that I want all of you all to submit all your claims to me by the date that has been specified lah. I know that some of you all are still closing your accounts and all. Please do so quickly in the next week, because I think a lot of us have internships coming up soon and we cannot afford to be in office all the time, and this is the only time that we'll be free. Yeah. Okay, so aside from all of that, do you all have any questions for me and Kelly? Yeah?
Why is our proposed expense 21K? You only have 14K.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, this is not your net expenses. The amount I wrote on the right hand side is your expense without taking into account revenue. So this is not your net expenses, this is your gross, just whatever amount you spend. Not inclusive of any revenue. I haven't taken that into account in my records yet. That will be only included in the final report at the end of the year when I'm done with all the accounts and close it up. Okay, do you all have any other questions? Anyone about anything at all? Okay, great. I'm not going to ask anymore. Basically, I believe that I've already said what I needed to say to my successors. I think that the only way to really learn from this job is to actually do it. So I think, like, you know, situations will only come up, and I can't predict those things, and I can't tell them how to solve. There's a different solution for each different situation, and I think they'll only get the hang of it as they start the job. So, okay, yeah. Obviously, if any of y'all have any inquiries on, like, this is for 2019, if y'all want to know, like, how money was spent, if y'all have any questions on, like, expenditure or anything, come and talk to me and Kelly. We'll be happy to help out. Kelly, do you want anything else to add?
Moving to the start 2019, please do not start the start with super last minute. It will be very hard for the 2019 treasurer, and we couldn't blame him on not helping you because it's all following the procedure.
Yeah, so 2019, be punctual, be on time, and, you know, don't submit stuff late. Okay, if there's no other question, I think we'll finish the report.
Motion 6, acceptance of treasurer's report, accepted by.
Ashley?
Seconded by.
Bill.
Okay, next will be Muisa's report. Okay.
Hey guys, how's it going? Here we go, movies report again. So yeah, we had our KL2 for the October intake. We know the drill by now. It's the third time we're doing it. Very straightforward. The only difference is that we didn't go to Batu Caves because we don't want people to complain about walking a lot again. So in summary, we had a full bus this time, but this time we've actually opened up to locals and current students from the beginning because we only had 2 days for registration. Also, we didn't have IBP helpers because IBP don't help in October. And yeah, we had brunch this time, Brickfield, which was actually a pretty nice experience. Feedback, yeah, it was full. Responses, there was no specific comments I got this time around. And yeah, I would say the very balanced tour. There was a bit of walking. There was a bit of, cultural exposure. There was a bit of urban walk-arounds and all that. That's why I said it was pretty nice. So, let's talk about the complaints, because what is a movies report without complaints? So first of all, is with regards to MCL. You guys, you don't know what MCL is, Malaysian Cultural Law. It's that segment in the orientation where we take the new international students to games. So initially what happened was that FMD booked the indoor badminton court, apparently for the mock exam turnout, and we almost had to take the international students to the futsal court, which would have been nice because it's very hot over there. There's a lot of students. Would have been a disaster. And thankfully, this has been avoided. At the end, Mr. Zeba, I don't know, he came to help us and got us the court. But what I want to say is that maybe there should be better communication with the admins and FMD regarding orientation programs. I mean, you cannot just throw us like that and then the students will talk about how we made them play in the heat and stuff like that. It would have been chaos. The title that wasn't the case. Okay, second of all, we're going to talk about was, oh yeah, there was a short time for John KL registration this time. It goes 2 days. It's not really a major issue. That is something that, I don't know, maybe they should think about it when talking about orientation programs, because it is going to make stuff like John KL and orientation bash hard as well, I assume. Anyways, now the Chill with Movies semester report. We had 6 Chill with Movies this time, more than last time. We had Popcorn week 2, we had Surprises week 3, which even the event directors were surprised. And week 4 we had Take Tarek in honor of Movies 2017. We had It's a Gamble done by me. We had the Mystery Box, and we had that last bite, which we got my burger lab. So in summary, we had it more frequently than first semester. It wasn't consistent in terms of the turnout. I think that one on, week 6 one had the lowest turnout. Hey, you were with me. It was loud. Okay, it's ours.
Now it's ours.
Yeah, now it's ours. Yeah, I think generally those on Wednesday didn't do that well as those on Tuesdays. I know Mystery Box did quite well, but It really depends on the day as well. Also, I mean, students like it, they're gonna come eat good free food. What else is there to complain about? But yeah, I just wrote this very specific comment over there because I realized that it's mostly the same people coming over and over again. And it's usually the people who are like most of the committee members and the subcoms, which is, it's just not all that bad, but I mean, I would like it if there was more exposure. Now we've looked at different ways to do it. I mean, we tried to do it in different days, but that didn't help as well. I'm not saying that it's always the same people. There are always other people who come. Like people don't know anything about movies, and then they come to be like, oh yeah, that's what movies is. And that's an issue until movies there. Anyways, this is the movie series summary. These are all the events that we had. A lot of stuff. This was the first semester. Obviously, second semester we had more events, and the big reason for that is that this is when the team was full and we didn't have MC in, so yeah, we had more events in the second semester as well. So, moving on, okay, we're going to talk about what we achieved, something that we can be proud of. So I'm really happy that we're being able to function with a half number of MUIS members, because last year there were 14 MUIS members, and this time there was 7, initially 4 actually. But we still were able to make it up, which I will come to a lesson later. Also, it's nice to being able to keep internal conflicts to minimum, because I used to hear stuff, rumors, not true, I don't know, but I used to hear rumors that, things can go down, and I'm happy that it wasn't the case this time around. And I'm really happy that this time we were actually able to push the boundaries in some of the events. This time our MCN had a very strong theme to it, and we were able to have a good structure. We had a very viable chill of movies instead of having the same theme every time, and a more ambitious scale tour, which is also more expensive. It was good. Also, the general stuff, like general satisfaction, and it's nice that this time the election had a full movies theme. Was it that due to our achievements? I don't know. Just so what could have been done better? I don't know. Okay, so MCW was an initiative we wanted to do. It was something I wanted to do personally. Didn't work out the way I wanted it to be, possibly because MCA was on the same time. We didn't have enough manpower. There was a collaboration going on, and everything was so hectic. MCW came out as this event that happened. People enjoyed it anyways, but it wasn't the thing that I wanted it to be. International Games Night was another event that we wanted to do. I really thought it was going to be a good event, but the turnout was pretty low. There's a lot of stuff to look into here in terms of preparation, publicity, but I definitely think this is an event that would have been worth. Also, yeah, the shawarma stall plan didn't work. It was something that we wanted to do from the beginning of the semester. It's my fault. I lazed up on the idea. The problem is that approaching the both sides of the party was very hard, because FMD, they want something from that restaurant, the restaurant, they want something from FMD. I asked the FMD something, they were late. I asked the shawarma place something, they are late. In the end, I gave up because I don't have time, to be honest. But maybe the next movies could look at it. Also, let's talk about challenges we faced and how we dealt with them. So let's talk about the fact that movies was integrated into MUSA for the first time. And for sure that caused a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of, not really heated conflict, but I would say conflict, because the way the movies works, we were not really sure how it works, and there was going to be some changes or not changes. And yeah, it caused a lot of confusions, but it all took a little bit of patience and a little bit of understanding of, what should we do for the vision of movies. And yeah, I mean, until now, I'm not really 100% sure of what movies is capable of, to be honest. But as long as we work, it's fine. Okay, so yeah, lower number of movies. So in case you guys don't know, movies started with only 4 members, and we had one hell of a start. Then we had 8 after the by-election, and then 7 after one of the members resigned. But I'm really happy that we were able to pull off all of these events off, even though our members were low. And that speaks about the dedication of it. And obviously, time management was really hard, especially when you have MCN or any other events. So let's talk about what we learned, because it was mentioned explicitly on the email, and I have to talk about it. So I want to say that enthusiasm beats number. You can have 14 members, you can have 20 members, you can have 100 of subcons, but those who will matter are those who actually care, those who are really ready to work, and those who can adapt. I'm really glad to say that we had members that were very passionate about what we were doing. I think that's the biggest reason why we were able to pull off. And of course, the second thing you should hear is that, yeah, you should hope for the best, but you have to expect the worst. This is actually a quote that my friend used to tell me, a very close friend of mine. Because things will go down often. You have to be prepared for shit to go down, because it will fucking go down. Sorry about my language. Also, yeah, it's related. Problems appear out of nowhere. You must never panic, because sometimes you will panic. And just look for always solution. Always keep your options ready. Look for whatever you have. Become your network. Who can you ask for help? What other options you can do? A lot of stuff you can do. Also, this is the thing that I can say for every MUSA member, not just a MUIS member. Don't look for ideal outcomes. The thing is, there are a lot of initiatives that are being given by a lot of MUSA members. I think the huge problem here is that people expect that these ideas are going to go out there ideally. Like, how you expect it is going to be how you want it to be. And it's not going to be like that. Whatever idea you put out there, you have to think about how it can be practical, how it can work, what are the resources you can use to make it happen, and how the students are going to react to it. Because otherwise, it's going to be just a dream. Also, two things, this is for MUIS, two things that are most important. Number one, please keep the bonds between your team safe. And second of all, results are important, whatever the means are. Also, things always don't go your way. Oh yeah, make sure you're approachable to the public. And yeah, the last message I want to say is that be good friends with the other MUSA department. So that's it for us. No, that's not it. Mazen, you have to add some stuff.
I already told the new guys what I think. For the rest of MUSA, I'm just gonna iterate one of the points. Just don't be jerks. Like, if someone comes to your office, don't be jerks. I know, like, we're tired and stuff, and you just want to play on your 3DS or whatever, but like be friendly when the people come, and then when they leave, you can do whatever you want, but just be friendly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, please don't be self-entitled. Like, I know you're giving a lot of efforts in that, but don't expect the students are going to appreciate your efforts. So if some student comes, they're not, they complain about your result, you cannot use justification that you're working hard for it. In the end, this is actually a more voluntary thing, so don't be self-entitled for the students' appreciation. And I think that's all I wanted to say. Any questions regarding MUIS 2018? Or any questions about what I said? Shall No, it's good. Okay.
Done?
Motion 7, acceptance of heads of MUIS's report, accepted by?
Sharik.
Seconded by?
Terrence.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Okay, next will be heads of clubs and societies report. Shari?
Sorry, man.
Okay, I'm going to use the mic because I don't feel like shouting.
Hello.
Cool. Alright.
Alright, hi friends. Last time you're gonna have to see our faces, which is relief for some of you. Let's go through this very, very quickly. Right, review of 2018, what we did. Most of the changes that CNS had during 2018 was first focused on the internals, because there were a lot of problems in the system that we had to fix. So the first thing we did was we fixed CNS 101, which is now what we're calling it. It's basically the whole guideline of how to run a club and what not to do if you don't want to mess up. Right, we assigned sections, we broke it down, how it goes. Yeah.
The first 2 weeks of February was literally just writing this and nothing else.
Yeah. So the second thing we did was about Team Monash, because last year had this odd rule where you would have to qualify as Team Monash to represent Monash in external competitions, which honestly made no sense, because if you are a Monash club you're going outside, you're representing Monash, you should automatically be Team Monash. So there was a funding issue, and we separated the ideology of having a team and having money as a separate extra fund. So we broke that down, and now people seem to like that system because guess what? They found the other systems to it too.
Yeah, so we actually have clubs who qualify for RepCon funding, among them being Futsal Club, Dance Club, soon to be Cheer as well. So yeah, so we're seeing definite improvement with this system as to what the clubs are achieving externally.
Right. The financial system. When we entered office earlier this year, we talked to the treasurer, we talked to Jay about how the finances in CNS worked, and the system was, it's an understatement to say the system was a little bit messy because there were forms all over the place, there were multiple forms, no one could make sense of anything. So we decided to revamp our financial system where now we have a streamlined process, and I think Jay agrees that it's a lot easier. Yeah, it's a lot easier to deal with CNS money. Yeah, so that.
Yeah, so basically our treasurers also work to create more sustainable subsidy guidelines. So now like clubs roughly know what they can expect for different aspects of funding, or how much they can expect for transport, for equipment, for coaching, events, that kind of thing. And we also changed the fund approval form a little bit so that the heads of CNS have to sign off on it, which just gives us, the heads, and CNS as a whole more accountability for the money. So to keep proper records and authority.
Yeah, this is for reference of 2019. It has always been an issue in CNS that the funds were only
signed by the treasurers.
Yeah, signed by the CNS treasurers, and this was expressed as a concern because obviously large sums of money move around, and one person having authority that's not the treasurer was, some people were uncomfortable with it, let's just say. So we decided to add an extra layer of security with the head signing off, and in fact our form has a little space where Jay can sign off as well. That's to create accountability beyond just the CNS office, but that's obviously not something you have to do, that's entirely up to you.
Okay, so the next thing we did was we actually altered our committee structure. 2017 CNS consisted of 2 heads, 2 secretaries, 2 treasurers, 1 publicity officer, and 1 sports officer, and 2 external liaison officers. What we realized throughout the year, obviously we had a couple of members leaving us, and we also, as we were working, we realized that the roles needed to be redefined, and we needed a new position or more positions in some cases. So first of all, we redefined all our committee roles, so now everybody knows exactly what they're supposed to do, specific to their particular department in CNS. We created a new position called the Internal Affairs Officer, who is basically responsible for the day-to-day administrative work of CNS, submitting EMRs, booking things on RBS, and liaising with FMD and anyone else on campus, right? So we have this one person we know is responsible for sending out all these forms, so the rest of us don't have to worry so much about it. We also decided, with input from CNS 2019, that the numbers of CNS officers would be increased from 10 to 12. So now it will be 2 heads, 2 secretaries, 2 treasurers, 2 publicity officers, because Vanessa said that it's actually a lot of burden for one person to be making publicity decisions for 62 clubs. 1 sports officer, 1 internal affairs officer, and 2 external liaison officers. So yeah, I'm not sure how many of these that CNS 2019 has already found, but yeah.
Any questions so far? Yes. Right. So when we began the year, when it came to paperwork, when it came to submitting EMRs, function form checklists, and getting stuff from FMD, it was a mess because we just had to randomly assign someone to do it. Because at one point it was like, Caleb, you do it, TJ, you do it, Ashley, you do it. So there was a lot of miscommunication because at one point I think we submitted 2 different EMRs for the same event, and that was like, so we decided to streamline that because it's easier for all the, well, except for MUSA, there are other things that we did with. So it just made life easier if there was one point of contact with all relevant Monash departments than having multiple people deal with it. And therefore the internal officer was created.
Okay, the next thing we did was to standardize CNS elections. For this, we actually communicated with Darsh and Zeba as well. So prior to this, the CNS elections was quite a haphazard process. Yeah, where people just come into the AGM, like on the spot you're asked, do you want to run? If you want to run, come down, make a speech, voting by show of hands kind of thing. And there were a lot of issues with that because, number one, there was no guarantee that there would actually be people who wanted to run if you asked them on the spot. Number two, there was no proper process for voting. Number three, there's a lack of representation at the AGM, so there's a lesser pool for candidates and voters as well. So we completely restructured it, and now we have all these things: proper timeline, so public announcement to clubs, yada yada yada, official nomination forms, which we didn't have before, specific criteria. Yeah, y'all can read it if you want, but basically we restructured everything to make the whole process more transparent and fairer as well. We also amended the constitution, the CNS portion of the MUSA constitution to reflect all the changes that we made. Yeah?
Right. So record keeping and RBS is basic stuff. We created our own record system for the EMRs, which will make your life a lot easier. So keep at it. I hope you keep at it, not my place to say. And the internal RBS, we decided to not rely on the RBS system itself. So we created our own system, which we implemented on top of FMD's ITS's RBS, which turned out great. There were a lot fewer clashes. It was easier to displace clubs for MUSA departments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's essentially that.
Yeah. Okay, publicity to new students. So new things we did this year were CNS pamphlets printed for CNS week in both semesters and included in the October intake orientation bags. We also set up a CNS booth for the MBBS students who miss CNS week in semester 1 because they come in week 4 after CNS week. So they had a booth where they could actually just find out about the clubs on campus. And Monash Cup flyers, we put that in the July intake orientation bag to sort of hype up Monash Cup, which was in Sem 2. Something I forgot to add in was Monash Cup Week, which was a brand new initiative that we did, which was a whole week of a game with prizes designed to generate publicity for Monash Cup, which was very, very successful.
Yeah, so there was basically a 1.5 times increase from last year based on social media interaction with people who are actually interested in it. I think half of it was Milton because he was posting like frequent updates on his own Facebook profile. Thank you, Milton. So there was a lot of hype generated about it, and not very surprisingly, there were third-year students walking in and they were like, "What's Monash Cup?" So it was very effective because we gave out a lot of cupcakes and there were a lot of games. There were gifts given out. They'll want a plushie. Someone else want a plushie. I forgot who it was. But yeah, so it was safe to say very effective.
Yeah. As for Monash Cup itself, we had new things in that too. For the first time ever, Monash staff were included in the tournament. They came with their own set of problems, but overall they enjoyed the experience, and I think the other houses also enjoyed being able to beat the admins at games. All the Monash Cup logos were redesigned, and we hope that these can continue to be used in the future. We didn't put dates on anything we printed, and hopefully CNS 2019 and future CNS will continue with this design so that you can save costs on banners, buntings, and all the publicity materials.
Yeah, so basically the problem with last year's publicity material was that they put very specific dates on it, like 2017 throughout. And the publicity officer for 2017 requested us specifically not to reuse their design, which means we had to do the whole process of reprinting the banners. So Vanessa designed the absolutely stunning logos. Milton helped us print it out. Thank you so much. We did not put any dates, as she mentioned. So if you want to reuse the designs, the banners are in the office. Just put them on. You'll save cost. You'll save time. Time is of the essence.
Yeah, because designing those logos is no joke. Okay, so a few statistics before we go on to the next section. We formed 6 new clubs this year. 640 EMRs processed, countless FAFs, I don't know, maybe TJ can give a more exact figure.
Fund application forms.
Yeah. Over 1,000 certificates given out. These include club committee certs and Monash Cup certs. 10 subcom members, which was something last year didn't have, and they were a big, big help, especially during Monash Cup. Trust me, you need the manpower. Okay, so our trials and what we learned. Plan. So basically it goes like this. You make the plan, you execute the plan, you expect things to go wrong, and then you throw away the plan. Not always that last part, but fairly often you have to throw away.
50% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole, it seems like a simple formula, but I think this goes not only for CNS 2019, but for the rest of you who are here. Please keep Murphy's Law in mind. If there's something that can go wrong, trust me, it will go wrong.
Yeah.
For Monash Cup in particular, there was injuries, there were rains, there were reallocations, there were clashes, and the ambulance had to go multiple places. There was a guy who started bleeding from his eye. Things you never expect to happen, but they happen. So just prepare for the worst.
You gotta get ready to deal with that. Teamwork is very, very important. We need to find a good team, and you need to trust them. And as for CNS 2019, like, you need fun, dependable people to help share the burden, you know, and you need people around you who can push you to be the best CNS that you can be. And yeah, so we were lucky in the sense that we found good people who really helped us out a lot. Dealing with people. So diplomacy and courtesy are very important, but not to the detriment of effectiveness. What I mean by this is that try your best whenever possible to be polite and courteous, but there are some cases where the diplomacy just gets very bureaucratic and it delays things, so sometimes you do need to be a little bit firm in order to get things done in a timely manner. So it's vital to learn when to compromise and when you need to stand firm on your decisions. But apart from that, you must always, always be professional.
Yep. Yeah. Crisis management. I don't want to spoil the surprise for you guys. Deal with it when it comes. You learn, trust me. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, so a note on regulation is, this is very specifically for CNS 2019 and/if. I think this will apply to a little bit to MUIS as well. So what happened this year was since we revamped CNS 101, there were a lot of rules. There weren't new rules, but they were rules that clubs just realized exist.
Yeah, because we started actually enforcing them.
Right. So a big complaint that I received was that I think the exact words were CNS 2018 only regulated clubs. They did not assist clubs, which honestly makes no sense because those rules and regulations were set for a reason. We don't set rules because we want them to. It's because the clubs will have to answer to a lot of other people if the rules are not adhered to, like Monash Marketing, FMD, ITS, even student life. The rules that are in place are set to protect them. It's a part of our work because it makes sure they don't mess up, and if they don't mess up, that's beneficial to the clubs.
Yeah, so essentially, think of CNS as the parents and clubs as the children, because that's kind of what they are. Some children are great, some children need a little bit more attention.
Discipline.
Basically, sometimes they need tough love, yeah? But they do learn, like we have given out a few penalties and warning letters this year, and in most cases they've been effective. The clubs which messed up did not mess up again.
Or for the third time, to be very specific.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so finally, our advice to CNS 2019, and a lot of this is applicable to the rest of MUSA 2019 as well. Start early. Especially for Monash Cup, start early.
Yeah. We made the mistake of starting preparation. Even though we had the house committees, we made the mistake of starting preparations in semester 2. Oh boy, did that come back to bite us in the ass. Like, just because it's farther down the road, don't neglect it at the beginning of the year. Start preparing. We were saved because we had a team of amazing people who worked around the clock, and I mean that literally.
Yeah.
We left office at 3 because our meeting ran that long. They were there to effectively pull out all the things that were necessary. If you are not as lucky, I hope that doesn't happen, but if you're not as lucky, I think the best Plan B for that is to start planning early.
Then you need to be adaptable because, like we said, things go wrong. Sometimes things don't happen the way you plan. Sometimes new things come up and you need to adjust around it. So learn to manage around that, and try whenever, if you want to stick to your plan, sure, by all means, if it's a good plan. But if things need to change, don't be afraid to change it if you have to.
Because there are a lot of things you'll see that you might think, why is this happening? But you keep it around because you think, it's been here long enough, why not? But if you think an alternate method is effective, change it. Make the changes you should. Make the changes you feel like you should. At the same time, ask yourself why that system is in place in the first place. Because that might serve a purpose that you, at that point, don't know of.
Be ready for long hours and a heck lot of workload. Yeah, even if you start early, the closer it comes to crunch time, the more you're going to be in office. So just be ready for that. Yeah. Obviously, proper time management is absolutely essential. I cannot stress this enough. You need to balance CNS, you need to balance your studies, you need to balance Monash Club, you need to balance dealing with MUSA, dealing with admin, dealing with students who come asking questions. Manage your time properly, and then you will be able to juggle it all.
Yeah, so also I think this point is very important. Allow your committee members to be independent. Let them do their job. They're not your sub-sponsoring committee. Let them do what they're doing and don't interfere unless you really, really have to. And I'm just going to add something that isn't on the meeting minutes, but I think it's very important. Number one, people will try to tell you how to do your job, but it's true that you know how to do your job better because you were selected for that position and you have learned from the mistakes other people have made. No one that's not in your committee will be better at your job. So even if they do tell you how to do it, take it with an open mind, take it as constructive criticism, but always have the trust in yourself that you are the best person for the job.
Yeah.
Otherwise you wouldn't be here.
Ultimately, you have to be strong because you can't please everybody. You've got 62 clubs, you have a whole lot of people who are coming to you for different things. You won't be able to please absolutely everybody. There will be complaints. Don't let them get to you, right? Stand your ground when you have to, as long as you've done what you believe is the right way to go, and you have opened your mind to any potential constructive feedback or criticism. Be proud of what you're doing. Be strong in what you do.
And the last thing I'd say, this is unfair on you because your ability to do the best of what you can do will be hindered by the inability of other people to do their jobs. Take that into account. Other people will fail you. Take that into account in your planning, and always the first person you should depend on is obviously yourself.
And your committee. Yeah. Okay, and as a final note, remember why you're doing it, because you need to have a reason.
Yeah, you're going to ask yourself why you're doing it. I asked myself that on the day.
So you need to have a solid reason why you're in MUSA 2019, why you're in CNS 2019 in particular. And I found that a good way to do that was to maybe find things you enjoy about the work. That way it's not so much of a chore and you actually have fun on the job. I did. It was insane. There were times I wanted to just go die somewhere. But ultimately I would say it was a valuable experience and I wouldn't do it again, but I'm glad I did it once. Okay? So, good luck. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Any questions?
Well, we did it. I haven't even seen this report until now.
Question 8, acceptance of heads of clubs and societies report, accepted by?
Oh my gosh, can we do that again?
Accepted by?
Simone.
Seconded by?
Awesome.
Okay, thank you. Next will be activity share.
Hello friends. Okay, first things first, we have to go and talk about orientation batch.
I think it happened about 4 weeks ago, I think. 4 weeks? Feels like a long time. 4 weeks. So we went to somewhere Lagoon, as always. Sorry? Okay, brought 150 students, which is about normal, and we finished approximately 2 p.m. What I would say is, it's not bad. The event wasn't too bad. Completely sold out, and everyone attended the event. But Sunway Lagoon is quite expensive right now, so I think it's a step too far to say that we're going to place it on a blacklist because it's too expensive. Don't go there, but I'm just going to say it's too expensive. And assuming that there's going to be there might be problems on the budget next year, we don't suggest going back there. Purely because it's expensive. Okay? So, review of our events. Obviously, we had 2 MUSA days. When is it? March, July, whatever it was. Orientation bash, MUSA day, orientation week. School team games, you get really good hampers for the winners, Orientation bash, okay, the locations are there. We went to Outback Roga, Pavilion, first time in PD, beach, pretty good. And then somewhere good. Orientation week, we had, obviously we do the buddies thing every year, buddy shirts, the obnoxious yellow ones, yeah. Okay, and then Flash Friends, sorry, just going to speed through this because we've all seen this. Flash Friends, speed dating, I'm going to say it now. Glow Up, yeah, glow sticks, pizza, and water balloons. What else do you need?
Oh, yeah,
Ice cream too. Haunted House, New Initiative, Welcome Back Party, Semantic Club, I think we all remember that. Ball, 450 students, was at PJ Hilton, again, not bad. Okay, now on to the good stuff, what we learned. There. Okay, so for our new people coming in, we wrote this with them so they know it, because they're not here anyway. You need a really good team, someone who can back you up all the time, because if you're not going to do it, you need someone else to help you with it. The team does that. Be vocal about things, do not try and hide. Sorry?
Oh, it's touchscreen. Sorry. I didn't know. Oh my god. Okay.
Wait, what do you do there? Oh. Again, oh. Yeah, that's kind of cool, sorry. Right. Okay, so, always speak your mind, don't, keep things inside. That's how depression starts. Okay, so find a better way to reach out to students other than manga. I feel that's advice to everyone else as well, not just to activities. Crooks, there are thieves in MUSA. I mean, not MUSA people, but we've lost ice cream, we've lost things in the fridge, we've lost things outside. I'm missing a jar of honey. There's a lot of things gone missing in my department. Still haven't found them, so beware of thieves, everyone. Not saying it's us, not saying it's all you guys, but someone's out there. I don't know if the cameras work. Okay. It's important to be on the same page. Yeah, I mean, obvious, quite obvious. Okay. Prior planning is very important. We always say that we need 1 week in advance. 1 week in advance we should have the event ready, and it should be a week ready. Done a week before, because you don't want last minute planning. That's when things go wrong. Punctuality. I know I'm always late, but if you're later than me, you're late. So yes.
Okay, so advice to next year. Can I see a hand for those who are here for next year? Just everyone in the middle row, right? All around. Okay, cool. So this is for you guys. We've already mentioned it to Matt and Eugene, so be ready for disappointments. It's very normal to be let down by something that you expect. You want your event to be great, you want something to be amazing, but it may turn out to be just average to you, but it's okay, try your best. Money changes people, so yeah, this is something for everyone to take note once you are given or allotted your budgets. Yeah, just be aware of that. I'm going to skip through C because, never mind. Read it for yourself. Move on. Trust your instincts, young grasshoppers. Especially for those of you who are going to do events, if you feel that something is not right, trust it because you want the best for the students. So if something doesn't feel right, it pays to take your time to look into it. Because chances are there is something that
Okay, I trust you guys that you know what you're doing, so really trust your instincts on it. Again, MUSA is your platform to take risks, so if you want to take a risk, but take calculated risks as well. Make this place your second home. MUSA is going to be a place that you spend a lot of time in. Sometimes you're coming on weekends, sometimes you're coming during holidays. Ultimately, this place you shouldn't feel like it's a jail to you. It is going to be your home. Love it, take care of it, and it will take care of you. When you're in MUSA, there's no longer me and you, but we. This applies to everyone, especially because it pays to be on the same page, like you mentioned. Ultimately, I think, I can't say for everyone, but what I think is that for 2017, what we didn't necessarily achieve was to be able to celebrate everyone's achievements. Individually, we did really good on our own, but as MUSA, we probably didn't do as much as we thought we would. So try to be on the same page with things. It's okay to fight about how you do it, so long as your end goal is to achieve whatever you set it to be. So say you want better, I don't want to say anything, but say you want to do something, it's okay to fight about how you want to achieve it. That's okay. But to fight about whether this is appropriate or not, up to you. Try not to. It's very important, right? It pays to be very, very united, because there's nobody else who will defend you harder than your own MUSA community. Lastly, may the force be with you.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Questions?
Question 9, acceptance of activities chairperson's report, accepted by?
You've got to put your hand down, man. You didn't even say anything. Fine, Jay.
Seconded by? Thank you. Next will be publicity officer's report.
Oh, 1 year for that.
Okay, so hey guys. Oh yeah, I can scroll. So I'll just try to keep this brief. So firstly, I did the October intake or week 12 donut giveaway. I gave away, purposely gave away 15 dozen crispy crème original glazed donuts, 15 dozen assorted donuts to promote the Facebook and Instagram pages, and also catered to students going through week 12 as well at the time. So alright, and so upcoming there's this Monash hat. A hat is basically some frisbee, a frisbee competition. So yeah, I helped them design the logo and the t-shirts. So yeah, that's all. I didn't really ask them permission whether I can put it in my MSC report, but yeah, it should be okay lah, Alright, so these are t-shirts and stuff. Right, so I also photoshopped so I also photoshopped the group photo for School of Pharmacy. Then the pictures were taken by editors and pharmacy, and Raymond. Alright, so yeah, that's alright. So summary of the 2018 events by publicity. It's the subcommittee recruitment via the Google form and all that. So then there's orientation donor giveaways, on-campus and online publicity campaigns for events like cover photos, etc., all my gimmicks. Adobe Photoshop workshops. The feedback for this was very good. So yeah, thankful for that. T-shirt sales, MUSA Elections Info Week. I highlighted this mostly in the 9th MSC already. So alright, so MUSA website revamp. Then I assisted MUSA editors with recording debates for MUSA annual elections. I also highlighted the main points of that in the 9th MSC. Right, so then I did various designs for MUSA and clubs in Monash, Malaysia. Right, so I just put in all my stuff that I designed because I just want to humble brag and my ego needs to eat. So okay, so that's all for this. Yeah, I put a lot of stuff. Okay. Right. So what have I learned? Right, so basically, if you want to really, okay, so how to say? Alright, so I feel that the most useful things said today so far is like everything before like before this, all the departments like treasurers, CNS activities, they all said basically what we really need to learn already, so you can look back. CNS said it was really long, and like you should really look back on what CNS said, because that's all very, very true. Okay? Right. So alright, so for me personally, just very briefly, I think integrity is the greatest asset here. Not to say that it was a rare commodity this year, but it's the most valuable to me lah. So I think it's very easy to have integrity. Just keep your promises. Like that's how I would summarize integrity lah. So yeah, and also another thing is I am a very forgetful person. So if you have anything you need to do, just write it down. Keep a to-do list, right? So yeah, and I like what Tashini said also, like your studies, you shouldn't sacrifice your studies for your MUSA, you shouldn't sacrifice MUSA for studies, like don't compromise one for the other. And alright, so my advice to MUSA 2019, I already talked to my obviously officers, successors, like specifically lah. I sort of talked to them for like 5 hours, I lost my voice after that. I made like some PowerPoint presentation. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this advice is to MUSA 2019 in general, because specifically I already told my successors. So reach out to someone when you need help. So in the face of all this responsibility, don't forget that you're human too. Right? So yeah, that's it from me. Okay, yeah, that's all. Thanks.
Motion 10, acceptance of publicity officer's report, accepted by? Seconded by? Thank you. Next will be women's officer's report.
Just a recap of all the events. So we made a table just to make it easier. So the first one's RNA student guide, which was introduced in week 0. Basically, it came in for the orientation. And it had all the on-campus and off-campus resources available in case of sexual harassment or any type of harassment. Then week 2, we had International Women's Day. We celebrate that every year, but this year the theme was cyberbullying. Week 4 was gender sensitivity training for all MUSA members. This will be held next year as well for all the MUSA 2019 members as well, but our successors will take care of it. Week 7 we had denim dance. The theme was sexual assault, so awareness on sexual assault basically. Then Sem 2 we had week 1 RNA banners for around the campus, so we had posters in the washrooms as well as buntings all over campus. Then week 2 we had paint the campus inclusive. Delta staircase were painted. It was a collab with Student Life. Then week 4 we had Speaker Series 1, which was, the theme was gender and sexuality in Malaysia. We had Maria Chin and Ivy Josia coming in. And for Speaker Series 2 we had Nisha Ayub, we had Pang, we had Numan, and we had Dr. Joseph. So, and the topic was inclusivity, and week 8 we had Women's Week, so anti-period shame, consent, and body positivity. And it's a traditional event every year we have that, and body positivity was like an off-campus event. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just quickly run through this. I'm not going to read everything, but basically one thing that's very important for our department was good communication between our department and Student Life, Student Services, Student Advisory and Support Officers, and FMD. If you don't have a good relationship with these bodies, basically your whole year will be really, really difficult to deal with. So we were really lucky that we had a good relationship with each one of them. Also because of the support they gave us, things were really easy for us to take place, and yeah. They also helped us reach out to students a lot, and we also helped them in revamping and co-managing two of their very important campaigns, RNA and Monash Where Everyone Matters. We also managed to open up discourses on gender issues outside of gender studies classes through the speaker series. Also because of all the awareness on reporting options through the RNA campaign and all the buntings and everything, we received a lot of testimonies from students that due to the visibility of report options, they were more open to coming and reporting about harassment issues. We've noticed that there's an increase in reporting, but that may not be because that there's more perpetuating of actions, but it may also be due to visibility of reporting options, like I mentioned. So this is something that the future women's officers will have to continue with, so that students know about reporting options, which is really important. We managed to cover some of the areas like inclusivity, sexual harassment, consent, peer shaming, body positivity, and cyber harassment. But we believe that the list does not end here, and it is important to analyze what are the issues worth talking about on campus and issues that are prevalent on campus that needs to be highlighted and spread awareness about. Yeah. So, message to our successors, we've spoken to them, but most of it is to follow up on the policy reforms and collaborate with the relevant units from the admins. Also contribute to the RNA and Monash Where Everyone Matters, because they are progressive campaigns, and those campaigns need to have constant effort and appearance until we reach most of the target that we've put in before we started the campaign itself. To provide more channels for discourses, never to give up on each other. Like what we did is we divided our work accordingly, and we trusted each other with the division of work we had. So that is really important. I mean, different departments work in different ways, but it's also difficult for each of us to do everything at once. So it's easier to divide work that way and make sure you trust each other and don't, yeah. Also love and respect the portfolio, because it's a very sensitive portfolio, and you will grow through the portfolio, because when we start, we may not know exactly what we are signing up for, but as you grow through your process in MUSA, the portfolio will grow really close to you, and respect it at all times and work towards achieving the fullest that you need to offer through your portfolio. And give your best. This is actually for everyone, not only for our successors, whatever I've put here, but yeah. That's it. Any questions? No? Okay.
Motion 11, acceptance of Women's Officers Report, accepted by? Seconded by? Next will be Welfare Officers Report. Is he even coming? Like what time? I don't know. He texted you. He did?
You might want to continue again as to what time exactly.
That doesn't matter. He'll say one time to come to us.
At least you have a time to refer to.
Okay then, we will move on to arts. They did not submit any report and they're not here, so whatever. Next is editor's report. Okay, she went to washroom when you guys. Okay.
Hey guys, okay, so I'm just gonna read it off as like it's like my second time seeing this, but okay. So manga, oh yeah. Okay, so for manga's distribution, we actually ordered 500 copies from Network Press. For future editors who are not here, I think at Network Press, the reason why we work with them is because we know how they work, but I don't think we would recommend them for like future places if you guys have better options to go about. So this time around, the distribution for manga has been relatively slower because I'm not sure why. Come Liz. Okay, so the distribution has been slower, perhaps because of slower marketing, and the time we got here was already week 12. So are there any other reasons why we have slower distribution?
No, that's it.
Okay, yeah, so many students pre-ordered, plenty of walk-ins. If you guys still want, there are still some in our office, just let us know. And limited copies left, and personal touch. So this time around, we decided to be really extra. No one asked us to, but we decided, so for every piece of manga, we actually stamped, it was actually numbered, serial numbered, so there are only 590 copies available out there. And then a photo shoot involving non-MUSA members, we've actually done it just to kind of feature in our cover and filler. This kind of build up the anticipation and excitement to receive. So we would like to extend our special thanks to the VPs for the extra funds, because we did that. And all the photo shoot models for coming to our shoot, and all event organizers for pulling successful events for us to cover, and our subcoms for going above and beyond. So like, honestly, yeah. So Facebook, these are our stats. We've actually grew 1,000. Come on, Cloud. Likes up to date, we've also grew like about 700. Post reach, depends on what kind of posts and the times that we're doing. Yeah, so Monash Cup based events where the pattern we're seeing here is that the more people are involved in this event, the write-ups and photos will have a lot more. So you'll notice events like MCN, Monash Cup, these are events that really do bring people in and watch our things. So Instagram, we've kind of grown quite a lot as well, because we started the account this year. And interactions, not bad as well. So event coverage, there are 110 events covered to our subcoms. Yeah, that's to us, obviously. Excluding the entire Monash Cup, full-length videos of TEDx, Mr. and Ms. Monash nominee videos, collaborations with marketing, FMD, and what our, just kind of give you a go through of what our election promises were. Increase and maintain transparency, although transparency is kind of a cursed word at this point. We tried our best. Increase awareness for elections, we did that with I think 3 or 4 articles, a lot of photos, and live streaming as well. Making manga more visual oriented. We had people fulfilling like 1 page per, on manga. Making manga more inclusive, and increasing engagement with students. So the lessons learned, pretty much I think it kind of resonates with a lot with what people are saying. And it's also, I think a lesson learned for me personally is like, just because you can write doesn't mean you can become a good editor. Same follows, if you are a good photographer, it does make you a good editor as well. So advisor suggestions for 2019. Now press, I actually said, yeah, I just threw them under the bus. Yeah, but anyway, know your role, play your role, work hard, and have fun. That's it.
Motion 13, acceptance of editor's report, accepted by, seconded by. Okay, next will be SOB's report. They are not here. So where are their proxies? Oh, they never submit proxy letters anyway. So this is it. This is the review. I'm just gonna go through. They did seminar. They did movie night. They gave away stuffs for set 2. Ongoing event, week 12, okay, finish it. Upcoming events and past events. Sorry, Zuping and Lisan. Okay, sponsorship, they obtained some sponsorship from Education Office. Collaboration, they collaborated with MAFC for seminar, and then with other departments in MUSA, Educators Appreciation Week. SSLC publicity, they increased the publicity of SLC through pasting a poster around and email blasting to all SOB students. We'll change it to town hall meeting system from 2019 onwards. And then progress for future years, they raised discussions on various initiatives that are requested by students for summer schools to be provided in 2019 onwards. And then improvements on CMO, implementations will act from 2019. Business law research classes, initiate the student warden system together with MUSA welfare officers. Increase the number of days to register for exam viewing. Extra exam answer sheet will be put into the envelope. Their advice to their successors is plan ahead for all events, book venues earlier, continue to champion for lecture recordings and summer school, continue to help the school with collecting feedback on service admin staff, bridge the gap between schools by organizing events in collaboration with school reps, make sure to have your own viewpoint and student benefits, and right is a priority. Take time to hear out the feedback from students, and what matters to them matters to us. Appreciation, big thanks to all the admins, MUSA members, various club leaders, subcommittees, and all the SOB students for supporting us through it all. It has been one amazing ride. Wishing all the best to the SOB team of 2019. We believe in you. These are their pictures. That's it. Questions? Good. Motion 14, acceptance of School of Business Representatives Report, accepted by Jay, seconded by Hassan. Next will be School of Engineering's report.
Okay, hi everybody. We will start with our the event in week 11. That's the SOE movie night. Total we have 200 students attend this event, and the movie we watch is Venom. And yeah, that's it. As usual, we have like free popcorns, free drinks for the students. Next will be the Setu giveaway. This semester we do a different thing that we give out the ice cream to the student, and the response was quite good also. We have 303 students actually drop by our booth and collect their ice cream. And the upcoming event for the October intake student, we have a movie night for them also, and we're planning to do it on 26th of December, and they're going to watch the Bumblebee if not mistaken. Okay, so we're gonna start up the event that we have hosted this year. First we start with the Buddy Night, and Buddy Night team building event in Tusun Eco Resort, then Lecturers Appreciation Week, Movie Night, ITEX, Setu giveaway, and a trip to Penang and Escape. And another initiative is a SOD resume bank that we create a platform for students to actually collect their resume. We collect their resume and submit to the Future Career Office, and so that Future Career Office actually can like help them to seek for the internship or find an internship or jobs. Okay. In semester 2, we have orientation week team building. That's a new initiative also that we collaborate with the various clubs and engineering society to actually let the new intake student to mingle around and let them to know more about engineering clubs. Then we also have a Bye-Bye Night again, and Farm Engineering Race collaborate with School of Pharmacies and Skytrax, and another industrial trip to Fusel Oil, sorry, and Movie Night and Setu giveaway. Okay, so all these events are quite successful because we have a bunch of subcon to help us, and really appreciate them. And one of the good thing that the event that we do is quite successful and not really tough, because we have a bunch of subcon actually help us throughout the way, and really appreciate their help. And the advice for our successor is what we did this year is, so when we started to join the MUSA, we actually don't know really a lot of things inside the MUSA work. So because our successor is our subcon, so I believe that the problem we face throughout this year, I think they have know what to do also. So I think shouldn't be a problem for them to put on next year's. Besides that, some some rules or some our portfolio that we haven't tell you guys, so we will follow up with you guys. And thank you.
Must win MUSA debut.
!aiyo!
All the best to MUSA 2019.
Thank you. Motion 15, acceptance of School of Engineering Representatives Report accepted by? Seconded by? Okay, next is School of Medicine and Health Sciences. Okay, these two people, they texted me today morning and they say that they are unable to attend because they had medical night, something like that, last night. So they're tired.
What? What?
And yeah, they were staying over in people's house. Yeah, so I'll go through again. Med night. Sem 1 they had like 6 events. Sem 2 they had 6 events. All events went well with minor hiccups here and there, but nothing too big that they couldn't solve. So what they learned throughout their journey is how to plan events, how to care for students, how to write budget proposals and business reports, how to make friends with people outside of medicine. And message to their successors, good luck. They love them, goodbye. Hit them up if they need anything, and they're out. So, motion 16, acceptance of School of Medicine and Health Sciences Representatives Report accepted by Jay, seconded by Meta. Next will be School of Pharmacy's report. Their proxies.
Okay, now really don't.
Okay, hi guys. Okay, so basically for a whole year, we did subcon recruitment. I'm speaking on behalf of Raymond and Livia. Okay, so there were 16 applicants, but only 10 were elected, and both of us were one of the 10. Okay, so our names are here, Wayne and Seaman. Okay. Okay, so yeah, they say we're the best subcoms ever. Okay. So in week 1 we have like orientation in Sem 1 and t-shirt designing competition. So all pharmacy students were given an opportunity to explore their creativity in designing t-shirts for our School of Pharmacy. And Milton won that. Okay. So next we have Skytrack's adventure is with SOB. So it's a first collaborative event with School of Business. Next we have Educators Appreciation Week. So it's a collaborative event with all the school and yeah, movie night. We watched Avengers. There were around 127 students who attended our movie night. And next we have ice cream giveaway. A total of 240 scoops were given out. Then we have our School of Pharmacy camp, which is a collaboration with MUFAS. It's a pharmacy society. So it was held at Seminary Eco Venture, but the place is not very nice, so don't go there again. Okay, this place. Okay, so around 100 students signed up, and each student paid 90 for this. Next we have a collaboration with School of Engineering Farm Engineering Race. And yeah, thank you to the school reps, Ryan, the VP, their subcoms, MUSA editor, for the great support for this event. Okay. So next we have mass CPR training with School of Medicine. So it was held at the Posh area. And yeah, we invited St. John and the Monash First Aid Burial Club to like help out in this event. We also have like Radio Monash to help out for this also. So the School of Science also help out in like managing the events also. So next we have a Sato giveaway where we give out nasi lemak and fried mee hoon for students who complete their Sato. So in the end we have a School of Pharmacy year-end retreat. It was also a collaboration with MUFAS, Pharmacy Society, and it was held at Glams Genting. Okay, there were around 89 students, And mainly this event was dedicated for the Year 4 seniors who are graduating soon. So it was quite a good place, but quite costly also. Okay, so next we did a bulk order for Australian Medicine Handbook. It's like our drug Bible. Okay, so we need this for an open book exam. So by doing bulk order, we are able to get a cheaper price, a discounted price. So we receive around 117 orders. So next we have MIHS. It's a innovative health symposium event. So yeah, basically that's what we do, and message to our dear successors here. So yeah, keep in mind of your roles and responsibilities, and yeah, just good luck to us, okay? So last but not least, Raymond, we would like to thank all of you for being here for them, and it was a very wonderful experience and encounter for them to work with, yeah, and all the best for the future.
Motion 17, acceptance of School of Pharmacy Representatives Report, accepted by?
J.
Seconded by? Okay, next will be School of Sciences Report.
Hi guys. Internship. Actually, this is a copy of all of the reports we've done the whole year, so I'm just gonna keep it short. So yeah, first of all, we had SSLC recruitment. Actually, an advice to this, it doesn't really matter who's in there, because at the end of the day, you need more than this number of people to help you. It's like, if you can recruit more than that, just go ahead. And just know that by at the actual meeting, you need 6 or 8 people in total, that's all. And yeah, subcom, we had 6 subcoms this year, and cool. T-shirt design competition, all the past years we had it in semester 2, but this year we shifted to semester 1 because CMO asked us to do so, because it's 10th year anniversary. So yeah, I think it's better to do it in sem 1, so it's an advice. And then mingle night was a fail, but I would suggest to collab for mingle night, because that's what a lot of students they ask for. Usually they find it more interesting if you collab with other schools, or even like all 7 schools do it together. So yeah. And then the first SSLC meeting, done. And then movie night, semester 1 we had 2 movie nights, so the first one we watched, I don't think anyone cares, so it's okay. And then industrial trips, this year we had 4, this is the first one, to brands. And then yeah, this is the final t-shirt design that we got. Educators Appreciation Day, yeah, do that, it's a good initiative. Ta-da! And second movie night with engineering. Never had that many people participate, but it's cool. So this is our second industrial trip to cancer research. And yeah, pictures. Next is a sports mixer night. This event could be better, you know, but again, it's hard to get science people outside of the lecture hall, but you know, okay. Next is the second SSLC meeting. Same thing. And then we had a team building event with engineering, which was great. I think everyone really liked this event. I don't know, science people seem to really like to collab with engineers, so. And then this is our third industrial trip to Revongen Corporation. I wouldn't recommend to go to the same place again, especially this costs a lot. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend going to somewhere that you have to pay, since like our budget isn't that big. So yeah, cool pictures of people doing things. And lastly, we had industrial trips to the 4th industrial trip to Carlsberg. It was great. It was free flow of beer and food, and yeah, you just literally grab whatever you want from the fridge. So, and beer pong, picture. And we had a Set2 giveaway. Oh, actually, Sem 1 we had another one. Sem 1 was Subway cookie and Sem 2 was donut. They want ice cream next year, so take note. What we achieved, organize all events listed in our planner, and we fulfill our manifesto, which was to organize more event and like outdoor activities and stuff like that. And then we had new or improved initiatives. We created an Instagram page. Yeah, and basically everyone started creating Instagram pages. And we had collaboration with the Career Engagement Office to create internship opportunities, organized 2 additional industrial trips this year, enhance the payment tracking system by designing a template to ensure payment tallies. And also we, instead of using like the traditional way of like students coming to the office and then pay face to face, we use online banking, which was much more efficient, especially for like t-shirt payment and stuff like that. Yeah, so maybe you guys can consider doing that. What we wish we could have achieved: foster a closer relationship with our students with hopes that participation rate would increase, and design a School of Science flag. Badges, I guess depends, but if you guys can just, make a new logo, because the old one looks weird. And struggles faced, EMR difficulties in the earlier weeks, because we didn't know how everything worked. So yeah, we had a bit of hiccups in the beginning. Cancellation of our event when university call for an emergency closure, collecting the deficit and stuff like that. What we did different from our predecessors: we held more events and new initiatives. But again, it's not quantity, it's always, I think it's quality over quantity. So it doesn't mean that next year you guys will have to make more events than we did. We are working closely with School of Science CMO and raise the concerns of future event fundings, made alteration on the payment system. Yeah, focus on bankings rather than physical cash. What we wish our successors to achieve: yeah, do more than what we did. Engage and build relationships with more students from science. Collabs with school reps for more events, and collab with CMO, and you can save money too if you collab. Push for lecture recordings and more participation from science students in the future events. That's all.
Motion 18, acceptance of School of Science Representatives Report, accepted by? Seconded by? Okay, thanks. Next is School of IT's report.
I'll make this fast. So from the last MSC to the current MSC, what we've done, Python workshop for new students. So basically they just come and learn what we learned for 3 years. And they had Burger King, that's fun. Next one is an Android workshop. We invited someone from Movies Digital. Yeah, not a lot of people came for this one because we set a limit, like year 2 students and beyond only can participate. At the very last minute, because there's no one coming. Yeah, that was a bit sad. Third event was the coding competition. This was actually quite nice, although that setting it for the whole day is kind of a mistake because
it got really tedious, but I think everyone had fun. T-shirt distribution, we had 80 shirts sold, and I think this is our main source of revenue, because we didn't take any budget from this. We just we break even. Yeah, we break even. Total competition. Okay. This is something I won't suggest my imaginary successor to do. Yeah, don't worry, Dota is kind of not that popular anymore. Yeah, and last one, the most successful event for this semester is the October Bingo Night. We managed to use the revenues that we collected throughout the year, and then we had one final Bingo Night. It was a lot of Indomie. We home cooked all the Indomie actually, like 13 packs times 5. And yeah, unlimited Milo, that was the best part. Yeah, the Bingo Night was pretty good. 50 people participated, which is quite big. Because this event was during swap back, like on the Friday. All the events are good, yes.
Sparkling wine, man. Sparkling wine.
One bottle costs like $6. It's really cheap.
Lot of sparkling wine.
The cheap one.
No, cheap.
We got, yeah, like 10 bottles. 8 or 10 bottles. But yeah, that's it.
We have no success.
Motion 19, acceptance of School of Information Technology Representatives Report, accepted by?
Yeah,
Seconded by?
Terrence first.
Hey, 1 year. 1 year for this.
Sean.
Okay, so initiatives and events we had this year. Student pantry, you guys know what it is. Microwave oven was from FMD, because Sean's very persuasive, so we managed to get it from FMD. Then we set a first aid kit in one of the drawers. The refrigerator is also from FMD, again persuasive Sean. Kitchen appliances for the student pantry as well. And there was the wall decoration as well. For Kenneth, you guys could work on the pantry more so on how to maintain it and how to keep it clean and presentable. Next up, Study Space Warden Program. This was a collaboration with School of Business. We went to see Miss Maggie from FMD. So she wanted us to form this group of students to inspect informal study spaces around campus to make sure these are the specific study spaces, and these are the job scopes to ensure facilities are reverted to its original state, send lost and found belongings to the security department, and identify maintenance issues. That's the whole point of the study space warden. And then the Sunway Pulse initiative. So because the Western car park, the touch and go option was replaced with Sunway Pulse, so we got a Sunway Pulse reloading machine through, again, FMD, who managed to talk to Bandar Sunway. Sunway Pulse loyalty card registrations were also held in semester 1 and 2 at the beginning. And the 24-hour tutorial room initiative, which was a manifesto from last year, it didn't work out because we realized that a 24-hour tutorial room was impractical. So instead, FMD came up with this to run building 7 level 4. What's it called now? The Hive. Yeah, to run it till 3 AM. So I guess that's a good alternative lah. And the lost and found weekly updates, I don't know if it's still going on, but it's supposed to go on throughout the whole year. Basically, we just go to the security department, find out what has been submitted as lost items, and post it up on the Lost and Found Facebook group. F&B feedback campaign, this was just to have students visit the 2 of the stalls they would commonly go to and provide online feedback, and in return, as an incentive, they would get Subway cookies. So the feedback in the end was consolidated and briefly discussed in the food Operations Committee on the 24th of August, but further action was not pursued because the information, for one, was insufficient to produce a significant outcome due to ongoing changes in the cafeteria operations, as Tusharan has mentioned just now, and plans of restructuring. So it was kind of, rendered not really useful. And feedback given were very generic, like reduced oil, more vegetarian options, more 5 ringgit options. So it wasn't very constructive, so we didn't do much about it. But we raised it in one of the meetings very briefly. Lounge operations, this was Sean's part. Basically what he's done is, he's reduced pool rates, he's introduced the air hockey game thing, which is in progress. It's been in progress nearly the entire semester. We've already purchased it, I think. Right? Yeah, we've purchased it, it's just in progress. Regular maintenance and replacement of sports equipment. That could be worked on too next year. We could get more sports equipment for loan in the lounge. Introduction of the second PS4 unit and the screen. Lounge environment upgrades, which is in progress, and regular cleaning by the janitors. Next, BRT parking subsidies was also Sean's part of his initiative. It was between 1 to 2 ringgit per day, depending on demand, and it's generated from lounge revenue. But next year, because of the budget cuts, I think lounge revenue will go into funding the loungees payment. New water dispensers, we've actually asked for water dispensers near the futsal court and the open court, but there was no water source, so FMD has placed it in front of the dance studio. Umbrella borrowing service, you know what's going on lah. I don't know. It was supposed to be, it was introduced in the beginning of the year, but updates will be said by Sean. Personally, it's not going to happen. Refurbishment of indoor futsal court will be done next year because we've been working on it from the beginning of the year, because the indoor futsal court, when it rains heavily, it gets flooded and it's always severe. New dance studio at Building 6, I think this was in collaboration with CNS. So basically in the day it's a classroom, 6211. In the day it's a classroom, and once official class periods are over, it becomes a dance studio. So we have people assigned to put back the furniture in its original positions, and there's also a new mirror installed there for the dance clubs. Semester 1, welcome back party involvements, basically from welfare. These were the contributions: beanbag movie night, games booth, which was the minion shootout, and lounge operations, which was the free pool and free PS4. Puppy therapy was this semester only, so basically as PCA, puppies were brought into campus for the benefit of the students. It was a fun interactive way to relieve stress as exams begin to creep up. Okay. Lounge Jammies Night, it was a new initiative, and we think it should be carried out next year as well, because it was a huge success, mostly because of the free food and the desserts. It was a pajama-themed games night focused on countering stress and pressure from academic loads. The night featured indoor games such as board games, card games, pool and PS4, Uno, Jenga, etc., as well as food, desserts, prizes for best dress, and music throughout the entire evening. Revenue generated was all given to as PCA. MUSA Wars was in the beginning of Sem 1. It was a fun interactive way for MUSA members to bond with their subcommittee members, as well as to learn team building, as well as to bond with other departments. It's been a welfare tradition, and we think it should be carried out next year as well in Sem 1, in the beginning. Semester 2, Jom Makan involvement. We did a games booth, which was also the minion shootout with many attractive prizes. No one walked away empty-handed or without a smile on their faces. Swat Whack donut giveaway is also a tradition, happens every end of the semester, during Swat Whack or even after. It's to make students feel appreciated and cared for when they are under most pressure. One of the very first welfare traditions handed down to every generation of MUSA. Okay. Summer Lounge Party, which is tentatively during mid-December. We're just going to conduct the same exact thing we did. Yeah, we'll feature the same itinerary as the Lounge Jammies night. What we learned and advice. Sometimes help is required from other departments. Example, MUSA was, we needed a lot of help and a lot of was given from especially the Treasurer's Department. Thank you, Jay and Kelly. And when it is, asking for it in advance would go a long way. It also gives them time to plan and delegate the tasks to their own subcommittees. But to ask for help is also to offer help when help is needed. And also to request for a campus facility or facility-related change, it is appropriate to meet officially with FMD and student life to propose it and run discussions for implementation. Example, the Sunway Pulse initiative, the supposedly 24-hour tutorial room, the Western Car Park machine servicing, you know, when you put your ticket in, that one wasn't working. Asset requisition for the student body, storage rooms, etc. all can be done if you just communicate with your admins. The lounge party should be a tradition as for many of the events I mentioned just now, with different themes every year during peak stress periods. Note, the lounge can only accommodate at most 150 people. Efficient management of the pantry should also be a collective effort by MUSA. It may also be used as a hub to invite students into the Level 2 Sports Center to embrace the being approachable context. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah, do you guys have any questions? Oh, Sean, welcome! Would you like to come down here to end our presentation? Yeah. Do you guys have any questions?
Where are we at? The idea of wearing the MUSA 2017 shirt.
Where are we at with umbrellas?
Because my mom watched the 2018 one. Terence, can you ask the question again?
Where are we at with the umbrellas?
Didn't you see the report?
Yeah, I'm asking you now.
Then December first week.
Oh, really? Do that?
Why so long?
Because I got to do it lah. Launch only open next week.
Really? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, first week of December. It's happening.
Right before you leave.
Yeah. So, any more questions? If that's it, then we thank you. You want to say anything?
Bye, I'm done. Finally, I'm done. Bye.
After 2 years anyway.
That was your fault.
Okay, motion 12, acceptance of welfare officer's report, accepted by?
Okay, fine.
Jay.
Jay, seconded by?
Terence.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sean, you?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yes, but before you guys leave, please remember, y'all can also give me your keys today, but latest is 28th of December, and any questions or anything to say before we end this?
Regarding on that matter.
Wait, you want to say more? Because this will take quite some time.